What is up, everybody? Welcome to SnailMail.
SnailMail.
Happy Friday. Hopefully you guys are all gearing up for a fun weekend. I still haven't decided if I'm going out this weekend or not.
I'm going out of town, but not doing any wheeling or anything. Yeah.
Okay. I might be going to the Rubicon. We'll see.
Woo.
No, I need to trim trees. I thought Rubicon's next weekend. Which were trimmed. I need to look at a calendar. All right. So this is snail mail, though. I'll figure out my life later.
Apparently. Yep.
We do voicemails here on the show where you guys get to call in. So we have our normal segments Monday and Thursdays. And then you guys get to call in and tell us all your feedback about those shows, whether you agree with points, disagree with points. Maybe we've missed something, forgot something, left it out. You have some other ideas to add in there. Or you just want to talk to your other buddies that call in for snail mail. You guys just want to talk to each other through snail mail. That works too. We're all good for it. So the number that you'd call in to leave us a voicemail is 916-345-4744. It's a Google Voice number. It will not ring. We will not hear it ring. It just goes to a voicemail. You leave a message and then we get a notification about it. And we don't pay any attention to those notifications until we sit down and record for the snail mail.
Yeah, absolutely true. How many are we up to?
32.
Oh my gosh. All right. You guys,
we might have to do a dedicated episode to catch back up here some. All right. First one to start off is a buddy from Botches Off-Road.
Ooh, Alex.
What up? I got to go be on their podcast.
Did you? You guys, you did it already?
Yeah.
Okay.
We talked about compressor technology and what we've done with Morphlate. And it was funny because they kind of they started off asking me like one little question and then I talked for like an hour and a half.
I know how that feels.
Do you?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Maybe a little bit. Is it released yet?
I want to say
no,
not yet.
Nope. But let's see. Their last one was 5 days ago. So it's probably coming out. It's probably released by the time this comes out.
Probably.
Yeah.
It was a fun conversation with them about compressor technology and what goes into off-road air compressors.
Okay.
So, anyways, Alex called in, I guess, and
sweet.
Left us a voicemail.
Let's hear it.
Hey, Jimmy, hey, Tyler. It's Alex from Botches Off-Road. I'm a little behind on my free advertising. It's not really why I call in, but it's still funny either way. But, if that's what we're doing, everyone should go listen to Botches Off-Road Podcast. We have
Don't do that. Terrible
conversations about trucks and camping a little bit and more trucks and, other stuff that comes up. But anyways, Tyler, dude. The second gen ran until 95. Third gen 4Runner starts in 96, runs through 02. Don't be calling us second gens because third gen, best gen, man. You can't get us conflated. All right. Catch you guys later.
Did you say the wrong years?
I guess so.
Damn it, Tyler.
Because I know that the third gen started in 96 because it was a 95 and a half.
Yeah.
Calendar year when they started being produced, which was 96 production year. I don't know. I will give him credit though. I don't know off the top of my head what the end of the third gen year was.
Yeah, I don't either.
I thought it was 2001, but he decided it was 2002. So maybe that's what I messed up.
Yeah. Well, let's see.
I thought that the fourth gen 4Runner, the first year was 2004. Because I thought that the Mule was the first year of the fourth gen 4Runner, which is a 2004 4Runner.
But it's not.
But it's according to Alex, it sounds like 2002 and a half is where that split was between third and fourth gens.
Right.
We could just look it up, but where's the fun in that?
No, yeah. And I think 04 is the last year for the first gen Tacoma trucks.
The first gen Tacomas, that sounds right, because they made the dual cab 2 years, and that started, I think, in 2002.
Yes.
So...
yeah, but they're not synced, right? What the Tacoma does, the 4Runner doesn't do. It's not the same times.
Yeah,
for obvious reasons.
Yeah,
nobody wants to completely change the lineup all 1 year.
Yeah,
it would be nice for the consumer though.
I know,
if we knew all the trucks ended when they ended, or and all the 4Runners same time, and then Sequoias and Tundras and T100s all on that same date.
Yep,
but that wouldn't be possible.
No. No.
But, okay. Well, third gen, best gen. I agree with that.
I disagree.
Okay.
I think that the third gen I think the engine of the third gen was the best engine of the Forerunners.
You like the 3.4 more than the 4.7?
Yep, I do.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
The 4.7, it's like the 22RE of the V8 world.
Sure.
It's a V8, but it's really underpowered. Like, in my opinion, the 4.7 is not that much faster or torquier than the 3.4 in Kermit. Like, it sounds a lot better. I'll give it that credit. Sure. It sounds amazing, but I don't feel like it's that much better than the 3.4.
I'm curious how much more the mule weighs than Kermit.
That's a good question. That's a fair, legitimate question. And it had 42s on it, so we'll see how it feels with 40s. So that's a fair point. But I think that the 3.4, it's just such a great little engine. I don't know. It's awesome. I do not like how much lower the chassis and everything sits in the third gen and later models.
Well, you didn't like how low it sat from the second gen to the first gen.
The second gen and first gen are about the same.
Are they?
The frame rails and chassis are about the same. The second gen, where it excelled, was having the 4 doors instead of 2 doors, and way more deadening sound dampening, and insulation to the cab. So the cab, in my opinion, isn't a whole lot bigger in the second gen from the first gen.
Right.
But it's way quieter and way more insulated than the first gen is.
Okay. Sure. But you can't take the back off.
You cannot take the back off. That is correct, which is not something I was looking for.
Right there.
Yeah. So I don't know. In my opinion, the second gen by itself sucked, but it kept the small body of the first gen, with kind of more the creature comfort sound deadening of the third gen, with the chassis and sitting of the first gen, the high clearance on the chassis, more ground clearance. So but yeah, it just had its own shitty motor. So that was the main problem with the second gens. Overall though, I think if you're looking for a rock crawler, the first gens are the way to go.
Yes.
If you're looking for an overlander, the fifth gens are the way to go.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I would go third gen still.
See, for a pure overlander, I don't think there's enough space in the third gens.
Okay. I would go Land Cruiser 80.
That's true. I think if we're talking about ultimate overlander, the Land Cruiser 80 series is, I think, one of, if not the best pick. The only way I think you're beating it in terms of overland capability would be to go with like a full-size suburban style SUV.
Yeah, but they're so big.
They're massive. But I mean, when you're overlanding, you're not really trying to get into tight technical places.
No, but you are just trying to get down a trail sometimes.
Yeah, it's fair. Ignore that on the camera, guys. Nobody's watching this anyways.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I don't know. I really do like CJ with the CJ, his expedition setup.
Yeah.
For overlanding. Like, in my opinion, the 7.3 is a really nice platform for overlanding in that expedition, that big ass SUV.
I know I'm short.
Yeah.
Or at least you tell me that.
Yes.
But I'm still...
Your daughter tells you that too.
Yeah, apparently. But the width of Clifford is not long enough for me to stretch out on.
In the back
bench seat. Because I've tried to sleep in my 7.3. That's why you get the
expedition.
Yeah.
And then you have the whole back area.
True. Yeah. I thought about bringing a really good sleeping bag and a pad and just sleeping in the bed of the truck on the trip that I spent that night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you did that at KOH.
I did that at KOH the following year or something. Once I had a camper shell. When I was going to Moab, I didn't have a camper shell.
Yeah.
So I would have just been sleeping out in the Bonneville Salt Flats with just a nice sleeping bag and a pad.
Yep.
Which totally, I mean, I've slept worse places.
Yes.
Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
All right. So Alex, what do you think is the best gen? Is it really the third gen if you have choices on all 6 of them?
Yeah, right. I don't know.
You tell us.
I don't know if there is a best gen for overall everything. I think each gen kind of has its own little place, and second gen is probably the worst gen until you take the drivetrain engine out of the third gen, put it in,
and change the axles.
And pretty much just have nothing left but a body of the second gen, and then it's the best gen for rock crawling.
Put the third gen body on a second gen frame.
That would be interesting.
Because I don't like the body of a second gen.
Really?
No.
It's pretty much the same, except you have a tailgate instead of a hatch.
No, but there's I don't know. It doesn't look as nice for whatever reason, in my opinion.
All right.
I don't know.
It's missing the fender flares.
Yeah, I don't know. Just don't buy even gens.
Go with the odd gens.
The odd gens in the Forerunner world.
Yeah. All right. Next up is Donnie. Yeah.
All right. At least it's not Don this time. All right.
Yeah. Tips on driving an automatic.
Okay.
I'm interested.
Yeah.
Tyler.
Donnie.
Your man Rover Don here with some helpful tips on driving an automatic equipped vehicle while on the trail. So, yes, 2-foot driving is a must. Yes, you're always driving through the brakes. Yes, you are manually shifting it. Although, being a late model truck, I don't know what year the mule is or anything, but it may be too smart for its own good and not hold gears. Some newer transmissions are like that. But it should be, I never just put my truck in drive and just let it go unless I'm maybe, just kind of in a transit stage where I'm not paying attention and don't care. But I only shift it manually, first, second, third, mostly first and second. And yes, you do always drive through the brake. Once you get accustomed to that, you'll find that it is smoother than driving a manual transmission because you can fully stop anytime you want without killing the thing, of course. And you can really control. You don't have that surge over the top if you get accustomed to operating both feet at the same time. I think once you do learn what you're doing with it, and you've always wheeled manuals, I've always wheeled automatics. When I get a manual on the trail, I'm very uncomfortable with it just because I don't do that on a regular basis, despite having spent, 40 years driving manual transmissions on the road and on the racetrack. So, yes, drive through the brake 2-foot all the time. And yes, shift it manually all the time. And yes, Toyota's, I don't even have to say, you know it. You already know it. With that, keep crawling and all that other stuff. Later.
Bye, Donnie.
See you, Don. No, 100%. I was manually shifting the whole time, and I was 2-foot driving the whole time. Or once I figured out that I needed a 2-foot drive, which was pretty much the whole way back.
Okay.
From Little Sluice. 2-foot driving takes so much more energy and it's way more uncomfortable than driving a manual. Manual, you're 1-foot driving. You're a properly geared manual, I should say, is 1-foot driving. You're never using your left foot. You don't never have to brake because your engine and gearing controls your descents, controls everything. And you're never really stopping because you're just going through stuff. I mean, I've never felt like I really had the need to stop. The only issue I do have with manuals is that with my particular 3.4, it wants to be at 1500 RPMs or higher when rock crawling.
Sure. Okay.
So you drop below 1200 RPMs and it just wants to die and kill the engine. So I just have to stay conscious of that and keep the throttle feathered around 1500 to 2000 RPMs. And it does it fine. And on links, it works awesome doing that. On leaf springs, it kind of sucked having to do that. But with something that has an inline cylinder setup, so an inline 4, an inline 6, such as a 22RE or the Jeep 4-liter engine, those things, they love running at 700 RPMs all day long. So you just let them chug along and you're not really killing your motor and engine that much.
No.
So that's my argument for 2-foot driving. And pedals in automatic in any vehicle, the brake is usually set up to be more efficient to hit it with your right foot. So it's not really lined up and comfortable to constantly have your left foot on the brake pedal.
Sure. So we need to move the brake pedal for you.
So literally what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a bracket off of my brake pedal that creates
a
third pedal that I can use in the normal quote unquote clutch pedal position, but use that as the brake pedal.
Interesting. Yeah.
So I saw that happen. A guy, Tim, one of the what club is he in? He has a buggy, whatever. And he did a manual to an automatic swap in his buggy.
Okay.
And what he did was he put the clutch pedal as
the brake pedal,
and his brake pedal as like the rear brakes.
Oh, yeah. I like that.
So if he wanted to hit all 4 brakes, he just hit the clutch pedal. If he just wants to hit his rear brakes, he hit the middle pedal.
Nice.
And I was like, sweet.
What if he only wants the front?
I don't think he had a setup for he had cutting brakes on it. I forget what he had exactly, but he had his brake pedals were set up biased.
Yeah.
Different from each other. And I was like, so I'm kind of pulling from that a little bit, but I'm just going to make it so that essentially the brake pedal pad is like 1.5 feet wide so that I can sit naturally with my leg pointing straight down at the floorboard rather than tweaked over, putting strain on my hip socket all day.
Sure.
To hit to 2-foot drive it.
I like that idea though.
Yeah.
I wonder if you could just do like sort of a split pedal and you could do like half of its right side, half of its left side, or front side and back side. And then, but it's still roughly the same size as a normal pedal. So you can hit both at the same
maybe
pressure.
Maybe.
And you could be like, I want front brakes. I want rear brakes. I want both brakes.
Yeah. Right.
And you're just moving your foot a little bit one way or another.
That'd be interesting.
It would be kind of interesting.
Yeah. So anyways, that's my thought on the brakes and 2-foot driving. I still think 2-foot driving is way more work than driving a properly geared manual. No matter how you put it. And Donnie, if you want to come drive Kermit on the Rubicon, let me know. It's 1-foot driving. So, it's a lot like driving an EV, a 1-foot driving with an EV.
Sure. Well, and actually that's a really good analogy. Mm-hmm. It is a lot like driving, a car that has its automatic braking built into it to slow you down, 1-foot style. And that is what it's similar to on the trail for sure. And I think the only, there's times when you need to be shifting, which you're using your second foot, and sometimes you're going to brake, which you're needing both feet at the same time. Right. But, if you have to shift in the automatic, you just push the lever and you don't have to worry about it, but both your feet are on both pedals
more than you would be with the manual. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know that I believe that having an automatic when doing hill climbs would be really nice, because there's none of the surging back or the roll backwards before you get your, the grip down to the tires, to the rocks or whatever you're on. Like that part sounds really enticing for me. But I've also now I've kind of gotten to the point where I'm just so used to the clutch and I know when it engages that I can feather it appropriately and I don't have any problems there.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know.
Yeah, as long as you don't have like a 1600 PSI ceramic clutch, then you can do that with clutches. So, I don't know. I still think my fix for the automatic transmission in the Mule, my problems with the automatic transmission is going to be that valve body upgrade with the torque converter lockout.
Sure. I'm excited to see how that works.
Yeah, me too.
Has Charles told you he's sending one yet?
No, he did say that he can get them though. Okay. And I asked him to figure out a price and he hasn't got back to me now.
All right.
So if I can figure out how much it is for him to buy one, and then I can use Morflate shipping logistics to get one from Australia, from him to here in California, I think it might be a lot cheaper than buying one stateside.
Yeah, maybe. You also have a Morflate partner in Australia that might be able to help you out too.
That's the other thing too. So I can talk to them as well. I still haven't chatted with them about it, but yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks, Don, for calling in, even though you're wrong.
Oh, that's funny.
But we still appreciate it.
Yes, we do. Next up is transcript not available.
Ooh.
Full 3 minutes.
All right. We got an ad.
I know, right? Somebody looking to ask us about our car warranty.
Hey, what's up, Jimmy and Tyler? It's Drew from San Diego.
Drew.
Long-time listener, first-time caller. I met you guys a couple years ago out at King of the Hammers. Jimmy actually rode with me in the LJ, not a TJ, up to the top of Fisher Mountain.
Okay.
Hey man, I have been biting my tongue about the trail rating thing because we just keep beating it up, and it's like 7:55 in the morning on the 26th. So the guy that just called didn't leave his name. Basically, is on the right track. We don't reinvent the wheel. We don't change the trail ratings that are already out there. But what we do is we get OnX to say, hey, give us the ability to rate a trail after we run it, red, yellow, green, black. We don't need to like add, vehicle information. Doesn't care if you got 1 locker, 2 lockers, 3 lockers, doesn't matter. If you go and run a trail that's a 7 and you rate that a yellow and you say, show me more like this, then what it does is it feeds the algorithm and other people who have ran that same 7 rated trail and also rate it a yellow. You say, show me other trails that people who ran this trail and called it good, bad, ugly, and it just feeds you more like this, basically, kind of like the YouTube algorithm where when you watch something that you like, it continues to give you more of it. So red, yellow, green, black. Black would be like, hey, I don't want to do this trail again. Don't send me on anything that someone else has rated a black. Maybe it's like off camber exposure and, it breaks the one roll.
Oh, no.
And then the other thing we need is the ability to select profiles. So, like, I have several Jeeps, and some of them are nicer than others, so I'm more accepting of body damage in one Jeep than the other. So give me the ability to filter which vehicle I'm in and show me trails that I want to do based on that. And then lastly, what I would love OnX to do is give us traffic conditions on the trail based on how busy it is, how many people have navigated to that trail or are on that trail currently. So not very busy, getting busier, similar to the way Google Maps does. I think we're making this thing way too complicated. Keep the trail ratings in place. Let OnX tell me this is going to be a hard trail for me. This is going to be an easy trail for me. This is going to be a medium trail for me, and I want more of that for that particular day. All right.
Oh, perfect. That's pretty much right
nice,
on.
Dan or Drew. Yeah, and hey, I remember riding in that LJ, not the TJ, up the hill. That was fun.
Yeah. So is he arguing to not give trail ratings based on difficulty, but based on how you're feeling about whether you liked it or not?
I think it was user-generated ratings in a semi-linear scale with certain, only like 1 through 5 roughly.
Yeah.
With colors.
But not based on difficulty. He's saying treat it based on whether or not you like the trail. That's what I gathered from it.
I think it's both in a way, right? Like,
but he said we don't need to take into account anything about what your vehicle capabilities are.
Correct. Your vehicle doesn't matter in this.
Okay.
But so if you're depending on it,
so I'm going to go through and mark the Rubicon as green.
Yeah.
But that just means that I like the trail. That says nothing about trail difficulty.
It did. Well, exactly. But anybody else that rates the trail green will also see what you've rated green. And so it'll know that if you say this trail is a green rating, and you also rated Slick Rock as a green rating, then it will say,
gotcha.
Since Drew rated the Rubicon green and you rated the Rubicon green, what other trails should Drew go and do?
Gotcha.
Well, Tyler rated Slick Rock green, so Drew might like Slick Rock.
Okay. That's an interesting way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not opposed to that. I kind of like that idea.
Yeah. I like I agree with the vehicle profiles that he stated. I wonder how, so you would have to now tie the trail rating colors to the vehicle profiles too.
It's just, you would just have the same thing of, now instead of Tyler went to Rubicon and Slick Rock, I went to Rubicon. Therefore, I think I might like Slick Rock. Now it's Tyler went to the Rubicon in a Jeep Wrangler Rubicon and also went to Slick Rock. Therefore, and I have a Jeep Wrangler Rubicon. I went to Rubicon. I liked it. Therefore, I might like Slick Rock in my Rubicon. But if I'm logged into my Prius profile, it's not going to give me that recommendation to go to Slick Rock because Tyler hasn't been to Slick Rock in a Prius.
Yes. Right. I'm looking. Yeah. You're there. I'm looking at like, if I'm wheeling a Rubicon and Bobcat, it's a green.
Yeah.
If I'm going to, and I would, then my other vehicle profile would be Charlotte, the Tacoma. That would be a black, right? I'm not going to wheel that.
Okay.
And so then I would say, what other trails are there for Charlotte that are black? All those trails I'm not running.
Yeah, that's fair.
Right. Or what other trails for Bobcat? So the trail difficulty necessarily isn't tied to the person. It's tied to the type of the vehicle that you've entered.
Okay.
So it's Tyler's Kermit or Tyler's Mule.
Yeah.
Right. And how are those rated? How did he rate these trails with that vehicle?
Yeah. So like Kermit, I would rate Poker Flat as a black.
Because you're never going to do it.
I would never do Poker Flat in Kermit. I don't think. Sure. Right. But it doesn't mean Kermit can't do it.
Sure. Yeah.
It just means I wouldn't like to do Poker Flat in Kermit. Now, maybe I have Charlotte for the day and I'm like, yeah, I can go check out Poker Flat. And I'm like, yeah, there's a yellow in Charlotte.
Yeah.
So interesting. Okay. I like that idea. So I'm open to that idea.
Okay. Yeah, I like it. I think I would like to revert it back to the ski ratings in a way.
So just 3 ratings or 4, I guess?
In a way, 4. But it would just be because every,
circle,
green
square,
green
diamond,
circle,
double diamond.
Yeah, blue square or black diamond or double black. Because a lot of people already have that in place. You already have that in your head. I would assume that most outdoor people have done some sort of skiing or snowboarding in their life and have that understanding already.
That's fair. I think if we are nailing it down to, people either like the trail or didn't like the trail, and you're comparing yourself to what they did and what you agree with on known trails, then a 3 to 4 point rating system makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I think so. And maybe you need to change the double black, or single black. Maybe but it defeats my whole purpose. But maybe it's, green, blue, red, black, right? It's just you're changing out the red for the single black.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah.
But keep it similar to something that's already established.
Yeah.
But yeah. Drew,
I like it. That's
not a bad idea.
That's a pretty good idea.
We'll have to take those to OnX for you.
Yeah. We have a meeting with them soon, right?
I think so.
Cool. Next up is Richard in Atlanta.
All right, Richard.
So Richard's up to today.
Hey, Jimmy, Tyler, Richard down here in Atlanta again. Just listening to one of the SnailMail episodes and everything, and just, I don't know, had kind of a little bit of a frustrating topic. We've got 2 Jeeps at the house. One of them's the first one we started wheeling with. The second one's a little bit more optioned out and stuff. The current one, the one we're going to be keeping, all the things. The one the wife, drives mostly. It's hers. Just work on it. Anyway, I sent Jimmy a picture of I think it was a first gen 4Runner I saw over in Chattanooga, Tennessee. We were up there spending, she was doing some training up there. I was walking around the town. And anyway, getting to my topic, and I'll try and keep it to a single topic, was, the whole first vehicle thing for our upcoming boys. I know I was talking about the little Toyota truck and, trying to get that thing single, solid axle swapped. Can't stand it when people say sassed. But anyway,
sassed.
Doing all that and kind of decided against that. And, this first Jeep is kind of a little bit of an expensive vehicle, I feel like, for a first vehicle. I mentioned to my wife last night, I was like, what do you think about getting them like a 4Runner? And she was like, hell no. It's got to be a Jeep. So I think she had found on Marketplace or something you're going to love this. Cherokee she's wanting to go look at, which I brought up in the past, but it's something significantly less than I guess value, but in cost, outright purchase costs and stuff. So anyway, I kind of thought you guys would get a kick out of that. But sure don't see many of the first gen, I guess second gen 4Runners, floating around these days at all. So I don't know, just some random voicemail for me, just sharing some thoughts and stuff. Keep calling.
Sass a 4Runner. That's what you got to do, Richard.
I think he needs a new wife. Sorry, buddy. If you're going to suggest a Toyota and she's not going to go for it, I don't think that's the lady for you.
That's funny. Send her some pictures of the first gen 4Runners. Just tell her it's a Jeep Cherokee and see what she says. Mm-hmm. She'll go with it.
Yeah. Or you could probably get a Range Rover because apparently those are mistaken for 4Runners all the time.
Right. Don and his 4Runner.
Yeah. It's a great looking 4Runner, Donnie.
It is.
I like how the top's removable.
Yep. That's funny. No, yeah. Or you could send her a picture of a dumpster and just be like, hey, I found a Cherokee on Marketplace.
There you go.
How's this one?
Yeah. I do agree though that they are significantly cheaper than a lot of those other options out there. And the Cherokees had the 4-liter in them, that inline 6, which is a bulletproof, very proven engine in it that will go for years and years and years.
Yep.
So I really don't think a Cherokee is that bad of an option. My younger brother is in the market needs a 4-wheel drive vehicle for the cheap. And I've literally been sending him Cherokee offers off a Marketplace.
They're great for what they are. I mean, if you're not going to do any heavy duty rock crawling, they work awesome the way they sit. They're solid axle, they're coiled suspension in the front. Mm-hmm. They have that bulletproof 4-liter inline 6 engine. The transmissions are pretty much the same transmissions that are in the 3rd gen 4Runners, the automatics, the AW4s. It's a great platform. The issues with the Cherokee are the Dana 35 rear axle, the Dana 30 front axle, and unibody issues. But if you're not doing highly technical, super articulated stuff, they work great. They're just cheap and people put them down because you need to build tough vehicles for the Rubicon in 4 days. If you're not doing super technical stuff, Cherokees are a great platform.
Yeah. So the Cherokee, I think it was a 1989 Jeep Cherokee was the first vehicle I learned how to drive in.
That got lemon lod?
It did get lemon lod.
We'll just throw that in there.
It was a Monday vehicle for sure. Whoever worked on that one on Monday fucked everything up. Yeah. That person came in hungover and did not do anything right that day.
That's funny. Anyways, next up we got Uncle Weirdo.
Uncle Weirdo. Sweet.
Yeah. Here we go.
Hey guys, Nick here. AKA Uncle Weirdo, Weird Nick, whatever. All right, so first thing, wanted to say congrats to Rob, or Wreck-It Rob, and his new wife, Stephanie. I had the privilege and honor of officiating their wedding. It was awesome. They had a great time. Again, congrats, Rob and Stephanie. Second thing, this Weirdo name. Kind of curious. The last episode when you answered my last voicemail, pretty funny. What do you guys think? Weird Nick, Uncle Weirdo, what sounds better? Those know who have the designation, if you will, for the Uncle Weird name, they know who they are, but I've heard both. It's kind of funny. Keep it going, but curious to hear your guys' thoughts. Couple more things. Let's see here. Laughing. Yeah, thank you for answering those questions, but I was curious if you guys had any trail suggestions or areas to go wheeling, not just in the Lassen area, but up in the Tehama, Shasta County, Lassen County type area, somewhere up here. Just if you guys had wheeled up here at all, if you got any suggestions, whatever. Looking to hook up with the local club up here just to kind of maybe follow them around, see what they're into. But just curious if you guys had any suggestions at all.
Let's see here. Last thing is the trail ratings. Man, this is hilarious. Again, I know some people are tired of hearing it, but at the same time, I don't have a comment on the actual trail rating itself, but I do have a question. Is how the hell did that even start? Because, oh man, it is freaking hilarious to listen to some of these. I know it gets annoying to some, but I'm just curious how long ago it started and how. But anyway, guys, keep crawling. I'll talk to you later next time. Bye.
First off, yes, congrats to Rob and the new wife. And congrats to the old wife. So,
yeah.
Second off, I honestly don't remember how trail rating started. I really don't. I don't know if it was a passing comment or something that Jimmy and I joked about. And then we're like, wait a minute, there's something, we can figure out a better system for this. And then all the phone calls started. I don't remember. Do you remember, Jimmy?
No.
Okay.
It was so long ago. Right. And the thing is, what's funny about these snail mails is that because we're 2 to 3 weeks behind, we'll talk about it. And then 2 to 3 weeks go by. And then you guys comment on what we talked about. And then we talk about it. And then 2 to 3 weeks go by. Right. And then we talk about it again. Yeah. And so it's this conversation that we're having really, I mean, could have been summed up in like one episode to some extent.
Yeah.
But it's been months now because we're talking about like 1 to 2 times a month stretched out.
Yeah.
And it just seems like it's forever because it's always a topic every few weeks.
Yep.
But I don't know how it started. I love the conversation though. I think people are coming up with some really interesting ideas, and then trying to get it crowdsourced and then try to get, implemented into apps and everything. I think it's phenomenal. And the fact that, there's a lot of really smart people out there and it's interesting to hear their points of views.
Yeah. I will say, there's definitely people who are tired of hearing about trail ratings, but there's still people calling in and talking about trail ratings. So
yeah.
Like
Drew, he's like, I wanted to bite my tongue, but I gotta say this,
right?
Yeah,
yeah, it's great. I love it, and I didn't think we were gonna get any of a new idea out of trail ratings after what we've been through so far on it. And Drew had a new idea, so I actually really like his. So I'm a big fan of bringing more ideas to the table, and if you guys are getting pissed out there about talking about trail ratings and you're tired of hearing about it, then no more new ideas.
There you go.
But if you guys keep having new ideas, send them in, man. I think it's entertaining. I think it's fun.
Right. Yeah, me too. I'm going to go with, you should be called Uncle Weirdo.
My vote is Uncle Weirdo.
More than Weirdo Nick or
Weird Nick.
Weird Nick. I like Uncle Weirdo. It makes you feel like you're part of the family. Yeah, like you've always been here. It's like, I just want to run up and give you a hug, Uncle Weirdo, kind of a thing. So it just, I don't know. It seems more fun than Weird Nick.
Everybody in their family has that one uncle, right? At least one uncle that is just the kind of the crazy one of the family, of the brothers and sisters, right? Mm-hmm. And so that's what I think of when I hear Uncle Weirdo. When I hear Weird Nick, I'm thinking of like, I don't know, some weird dude that hangs out at kids' schools, like named Nick, right?
Without a K.
Without a K, yeah. Yeah, right. So I think Uncle Weirdo is much more of a happy, jolly, go fun name rather than Weird Nick. Just kind of sounds a little pedophile-y. I don't know.
Yeah, that's funny.
So anyways, that's my vote, is Uncle Weirdo.
And then the only thing I have in lieu of your question about trails or things outside of Lassen is I've done the Pellegrin Jeep Trail. I did a little bit of it. I did like half of it. And it's outside of Red Bluff. So it's kind of on your way to Lassen. You could turn off and go the southern entrance into Lassen at Red Bluff, or you can go up to that northern sort of entrance or west entrance when you hit Redding and you cut over to Lassen. But the Pellegrin can't say that word.
What is it, Jimmy?
Pellegrin Jeep Trail, which I don't know why it should be called Jeep Trail, is in the Ishi Wilderness, ISHI.
Okay.
And it was I would say, if I was trail rating it, when I did it, it was somewhere between a blue square and a single black diamond, only because there was really bad ruts from the water. And my buddy in a 5th gen 4Runner was doing it, and he was pulling his front and rear tires and like teeter-tottering because the ruts were so bad that he was having to drive through. Bobcat didn't really have that problem because I have the articulation and I could keep my tires on the ground. Also, when I did it, and this was like in 2017, the trail, maybe 18, the trail was very overgrown. And so it was really narrow, good for a side-by-side, but not for a truck necessarily. But it was still a fun trail, and it got you to a remote part of the state, and it had a fairly nice overlook when you got up to like the top of the mountain.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Should we do one more? We're at about 40 minutes here.
Yeah, let's do one more.
All right. Zach from Oklahoma.
Okay.
Here we go.
What's up, Jimmy and Tyler? Zach from Oklahoma. I'm about to be at a mural festival here in OKC, but I wanted to add some stuff to the trail rating conversation. I think a factor that should be considered into trails is the length of the trail. While it might not be as rugged as maybe like a 4 or 5 or 6 or whatever, but it might be long enough that if you were to get stuck out there because you ran out of gas or like you puncture a tire and you can't get out, and if you were to get stuck out there, the danger level goes up. And I feel like that should also be a factor when considering trail ratings, is the length of it. And if you get stuck, how likely are you going to die if you don't get out? Or that might be over exaggerated, but like, I think it's something that everybody should consider, whether the trail is long or short or hard or difficult or not. It's probably just something to think about no matter what, regardless, but I think that should also be in consideration of the trail rating. Well, I'm going to go enjoy the mural festival and hope this Jeep backing out of a parking space doesn't rear end me. Y'all keep crawling. Bye.
Bye,
See you, Zach.
Thanks for calling in.
Yeah. Yes, I mean, that's how rivers are rated. Rivers take into account the risk of the river, of the rapid itself, in order to get the classifications for rapids and rivers.
Sure, but does the length of the river come into that classification, or is it just like what is the hardest rapid, and that's how we rate it?
That's a fair point. Yeah, it's more based on the difficulty of the rapid, and the rapids individually in order to get a river's rating system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this is more local knowledge here. So the South Fork of the American, a lot of people do that as either one long day or two sessions. Like you can do the top half or the bottom half, or you do it over multiple days and you do the top half, you spend the night, and then you do the lower section. Right. So is the whole length from like one long day, is that river rated any different than if you only did the top half?
It is not.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
I 100% agree with you, Zach, that people need to take into account the length, but I don't necessarily think the length of the trail should change the difficulty of the trail. I think it changes how you prepare for the trail. Because like if we're looking at Doozy versus Rubicon, they're two similar, I don't want to say similarly length trails. The Rubicon is quite a bit shorter than Doozy. But like
they're
half the distance.
They're still, I mean, if you're looking at the total distance from Loon to Tahoma staging, it's about 20 miles.
Okay.
And I want to say Doozy is 32 miles. So both long trails that you probably are going to do in 2 days. But in my opinion, the risk on Doozy is much higher because it's further away from infrastructure. A lot less people are doing it. Does that mean Doozy is more difficult? I don't think so.
Yeah.
It just means I prepare differently for it. I don't know.
Yeah. And I think that's that to some extent is what Zach is saying. Like,
yeah,
or at least that's what I feel that should be the answer there is people need to know how long it is. Like this is going into our like previous episode of trail planning, right?
Yeah.
Or trip planning.
Mm-hmm.
Like you need to know how long it is. You need to know that you're going to be away from people. You need to know where your gas stations are or where your closest food might be if you run out.
Yep.
Like you have to have an understanding of these, but I don't think those things necessarily, like the length of the trail doesn't change the difficulty of the trail.
Okay. That's fair. Yeah, I would agree. At first, when he was talking about it, I was like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense, but I disagree with, I agree more with what you're saying than what Zach was saying.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Cause if we're going to talk about the Rubicon Trail, if I say I'm coming in from the Tahoma side and going down to, Rubicon Springs, I mean, the thing is that section of trail is easier than if I was doing it the other way from Loon to Rubicon Springs.
Mm-hmm.
But is it easier because the distance? No, it's not. It's easier. Or it's
easier because the lack of obstacles.
And what's in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
It's the obstacles that I think make the difficulty rise.
Yeah.
The primary reason that the difficulties rise. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
And let's take the opposite. Sorry to I know that we're closing out here, but let's take the opposite. What about trails that are in like Arizona where they're only like a quarter mile long, but they're like near impossible to complete, right? It's that, I mean, that it's the complete opposite of what we're talking about. Like that trail is impossible and it's a quarter mile.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so that's a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
But it's only, it's
a 9 out of 10 because it's only a quarter mile instead of 15 miles.
So I think obstacles really have the determining factor of difficulty.
Fair.
Yeah.
I think that does it.
Sounds good.
For Trail Rating Friday. Right? Was every phone call about trail rating? No, Dawn was talking about transmissions.
Yep. Alex was saying that the third gen is the best gen.
Yep.
And then it was Drew that talked about trail ratings. Richard wants a 4Runner. He didn't talk about trail ratings.
Oh, I thought he did.
Did he?
Did he mention?
I don't remember.
Anyways, Drew kicked it off, so everybody can thank Drew today for Trail Rating Friday. Just kidding. We love hearing from you guys. Please keep calling in. If you have more ideas, even if it's about trail ratings, you can still call in and talk about them. 916-345-4744. Who knows? We may come up with a new fun idea like Drew had today. So let's see. Anything else today?
No, that's it.
All right, then we're out. Have a great weekend and stay safe. We'll see you guys Monday.
Bye-bye.
The number you have called has been disconnected.